In HTML lesson number 5, we're going to cover two different kinds of lists that can be created using HTML code. There is an ordered list, which is marked with numbers, and an unordered list, which is marked with bullets or little dots. And you code them slightly differently, and that's what we're going to practice on today. This one will be done in the code.org web lab from scratch. There's no starter code. There's nothing you're going to start off with. You're just going to jump into the web lab and code this whole thing yourself. There is a handout posted on Google Classroom that could be helpful, plus this movie, I hope, could be helpful. So I am on code.org, and I've gone to projects. I've gone to the projects link at the top. I'm going to view the full list, and I'm going to scroll down just a bit and go to the web lab. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and rename this project, and I'm just going to call this List Demo. You could just call it List or something like that. You're going to make two different kinds of lists, but I'll just call it List Demo since I'm demonstrating how to do this. The next thing you'll want to do is click inside the body of this HTML document that's right here. Click at line 7, create yourself some space, and we can go to work. Okay. Now remember, we're going to make two different kinds of lists, and if you look at the handout, it tells you, plus I'll tell you right now, each list that you make is going to have at least 10 items on it. So you need to think of a category of something that you can think of 10 of. Make it easy. You could do, I'm going to do some states of the United States, and then maybe some football teams or something like that. Something that's easy to think of. You can do colors, you can do foods, you can do TV shows, you can do video games, you can do names of people you know. Anything you can think of 10 of is good. All right. Now, this is an optional thing that I'm going to do first. My first list is going to be states of the United States. All right. Well, you don't have to do this part, but we know how to do this, right? I'm going to code in here at line number, I just clicked on line number 9 on my editor, and I'm going to code in an H1 heading that is just going to say States of the U.S. And then I'll close out that H1 heading, and over on the right-hand side, that H1 heading pops up. And that looks great. I'm going to press enter a couple of times right there. Now, this one is going to be what's called an ordered list. Well, all right, the code for beginning an ordered list looks like this. It's just OL. It's bracket, OL, bracket. That probably kind of makes sense. Ordered list, OL. So that's how we begin the list. Now, as I'm working on making this list, it's not going to show up right away. Don't panic about that because it won't really show up until I actually finish the list. So don't worry about it not showing up right away when you're doing yours. I'm going to press enter a couple of times right there. Now, a list is made out of list items. So a list item, I have to add a list item to this list now, and it works like this. Use bracket, LI, bracket. And I'm going to start with Indiana. Now, I also, the list item tag is one that has a closing tag, like paragraphs and like headings. It has a closing tag, and it looks like this. It's bracket / LI bracket. So let's look close at that. To make a list item, you start off with the bracket, LI bracket. That marks the beginning of the list item. And then you type in your text, whatever it's going to say. And then at the end of your text, it's bracket / LI bracket, and that's the end of the list item. Now remember what I said, the list really isn't done yet, so it's not going to show up over on the preview window on the right-hand side. So real quickly here, I'm going to make some more states of the United States. I'll do Ohio, bracket / LI bracket. Press enter there. I'll do bracket, LI bracket, and I'll do Kentucky. And I'll do bracket / LI bracket, and I'll do LI bracket, and I'm going to do ILLINOIS, that's Illinois. Oops, I got 2 O's in there. Bracket. And in my demo here, I'm only going to do 5 items. Remember that on your assignment, I want you to do 10, but I think if you'll watch, if you study how this is done, you're not going to need to watch me do 10 items, right? So let's put in, I don't know, we'll put in OURI, we'll put in Missouri. I didn't put in, let's go back and fix that. I didn't put in my LI bracket at the beginning. And then I need my bracket /li bracket at the end. So that's what list items look like. Now remember, you're going to have 10. I only did 5. But it still isn't showing up over on the right-hand side. And that's because I haven't closed the list yet. Do you remember up there at line number 11, I put in a tag that started the ordered list. It's bracket OL bracket. All right. Well, now I have to tell a browser, I have to tell the computer that the list is done. Again, I'm going to say I only did 5 items. You have to do 10 to get your credit on the assignment. All right. So I'm going to do bracket /OL bracket. And then if we go over and peek over on the right-hand side in the preview window, you'll see that my list of 5 states of the United States has popped up. And also notice that they're marked with numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look back over on the left-hand side, I did not type those numbers. That's what an ordered list does. The code is putting the numbers on automatically. And so that's part of what we're learning and practicing here today. You can create a list that has numbered items by coding the way that I just coded this. An ordered list has a beginning and an end. Every list item has a beginning and an end. And you can see my example of a 5-item ordered list on my code. Now, remember, you have to do 10. I know I've said that before, but I'm stressing that. All right, now let's go on to an unordered list. And let's just to make it go real quickly, I'll just do a list of colors. And you can do it doesn't matter to me what your list is. It can't be the same, though. You can't just use the same thing. Okay, but this one's going to be unordered, an unordered list. Well, there isn't a big difference, except it's going to be marked with little dots with bullets, and the code is slightly different as well. So let's take a look. It's going to be bracket UL bracket to start the list. Unordered. Okay, so it's an unordered list, and I'm going to press enter a couple of times right there. And now the list items are done the same way. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm going to go back up here, and I'm just going to stick in an H1 tag real quick and say colors. And close that H1 tag. Now, you don't have to do the heading tags if you don't want to. If you think, I'm not going to bother with that, that's okay. That's just, I'm putting a little extra juice in it, right, by putting some headings on there. All right, so I've got an unordered list started, and I've got a list item started. Back to my work here. These are just going to be colors, so I'll just make it really quick here. I'll start with red. I'll go bracket, LI bracket. We'll do blue, bracket /LI bracket. You know what? You could copy and paste, right? I'm not copying and pasting because it really doesn't take very much time to type these things, but you could copy and paste certain parts of that and then just edit and change what it says. We'll go yellow. Did I spell that right? I got too many L's. I got carried away on the L's. All right, and we're going to go bracket LI bracket, and I'll go green, bracket /LI bracket, and I'll do one more, LI bracket, and I'll just put in black. Some would argue that that's not a color, it's the absence of all color, but we'll not get into that argument right now. All right, now remember that I started at line 23 on my editor, and it doesn't matter what line numbers you type your code. I'm just using that to point, kind of to reference it. At line 23 on my code editor, I started an unordered list. I have a tag up there that says bracket UL bracket. Now I have to close that list, bracket /UL bracket. And if I go over and look at my preview window over on the right-hand side, I'm going to capitalize colors in my heading here real quick just because I'm picky. Colors, that's good. There we go. I've got that capitalized now. And if I go over and look at my preview window over on the right-hand side, this is all working just exactly how it should. I have coded in an ordered list that has 5 items and it's states of the United States. I have coded in an unordered list of colors, and they have little, again, notice I didn't do anything to type those little dots. Those are part of the code. The code adds those little dots when you create an unordered list. All right, so now what you would make sure you do is come up here and hit the share button. When you get it all done, remember yours has to have 10 items. Hit the share button, copy your link, and then go back to Google Classroom and submit that link that will show me your finished work. All righty, time to go code out a couple of lists.